What's up, chat? It's your boy Hobo Drobo back with some Kingdom Rush battles, and today we're going to be jumping right back into Onslaught on our quest to slay as many dragons as possible using Hacksaw, and on today's chopping block we have Ashbite. And I want to talk about what's coming up with the new event in a couple of days, and I also want to go over the sneak peeks for what we could see for the next hero, but first let's cover this match a little bit. I start with my standard setup, putting the Barbarians in the back with the Barbarian, and then I'm going to move Hacksaw up top here. For most of my matches moving forward, I ended up putting Hacksaw on the bottom with an artillery, and that was able to get my spell cycle lined up nicely with the artillery at the bottom, allowing me to take out those big clumps of waves coming down, and then around halfway through the match I'd move them back and forth between the two waves, but overall this setup was pretty successful for most of my matches. You definitely want to have some archer towers or musketeers in the middle, and then maybe a mage or two depending on if they send flying golems your way. But let's talk about dragons real quick. Castlefan, who was in the Legendary Duels Dragon video, had actually reached out to the channel and shared some elite ball knowledge, mainly being that Ice Skull has this bug right now to where if he hits an air troop, he'll stop attacking right after he hits them the first time, and the only way to get around it is by microing him every single time he hits. So he'll hit the air troop once, then you have to move him, then he'll hit it again, and then you have to move him again, which is a very annoying bug, so I can see that when that gets fixed, Ice Guy will definitely get a major buff. Although I don't think it'll affect the troop too much. It'll just make it a lot easier to play around with him. And it's safe to say that Ashbite is the worst dragon. I don't mind his moveset, but I just don't think it's very practical for most situations, and if they buff him a little bit, I don't think it would be too bad. And for that reason, I would definitely put Barasat at number 1 right now, and I can definitely feel it in my Onslaught matches that he is the most difficult dragon to go against, specifically when I'm using a hero like Hacksaw. I'll keep trying to come up with something that can take out Barasat easily, but overall, I won't be able to play the next couple days that much, so I don't think I'll get too much footage for Onslaught, although I am excited to see what happens after this Thursday update, if there is an update. I'm just hoping that they actually release patch notes instead of just dropping a new event. But let's get into some of these rumors. And the first one is that Ironhide apparently teased a game mode where you'd be facing waves of sheeps, and I'm not sure if that's going to be an event or if it was just something Ironhide was trolling around with, but that's probably something that we could see in the future. And another major rumor is the next hero that's going to be unlocked with the new event. And I'll throw a screenshot up here of a comment that Ironhide replied to, saying that the teaser for the new hero was just a green circle. So that could mean a lot of things. A lot of people are pointing towards maybe something like Braveheart from Origins or Boneheart from Frontiers, but I wouldn't really want to see Boneheart already to see another dragon in the next event. I think they got to branch out and do something different. Although, if they are going to add a dragon, it probably would be Boneheart next, just because he's a fan favorite. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe that there's no heroes from Kingdom Rush Origins in the game yet, so I think that that's something that they should look into. I believe that all of your event tickets and your scrolls are going to carry over from this event to the next one. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments though, because I've seen some people say it's just going to be the scrolls and not the event tickets, although most people have said that it's going to be both. And so I have a couple pieces of advice moving forward into this next update, and the first one would be to save your scrolls if you already have a level 8 Barasat. I don't think there's really a point in using your scrolls right now to get it up unless you really think that you can get them to level 9. Otherwise, saving them for the next troop is probably the best idea. And then save as much gold as possible because you never know what balance changes are going to be made, and I feel like it's very safe to keep around 4,000 to 8,000 gold just in case there is a card that you have that you want to upgrade right away. And since Stadium is a joke right now and there's really no point on upgrading your cards past level 7 or 8, since everything in Onslaught caps at level 5 anyways, you may as well save your gold for now and see what the balance looks like. Ironhide has acknowledged multiple times that they're aware of the balance issues with Stadium right now, just the fact that it's an overall unenjoyable experience with all the bots, but they weren't expecting people to reach Stadium as fast as they did, so that's probably part of it. With any multiplayer game, there's so many voices being heard, and there's a lot of people complaining about everything being overpowered, so I definitely think that Ironhide will focus more on the data, but it's definitely difficult because they don't have private matches right now where people can test things on their own, and I think that that'll make it a lot easier for balancing moving forward once they get that feature added to the game. Overall though, I've enjoyed my experience, and it's been nice switching from Stadium to Onslaught, and I think that Onslaught is really cool because it does make you better at the game just because you're forced to kill everything as fast as possible, which is inherently a good strategy in Stadium as well. Real quick, you can see there in that round that really Hacksaw shined when he was able to get that one shot down, because Ashbite just wasn't able to get enough damage. and I feel like that's not really characteristic for what Ashbite's character is, and he should be able to deal more damage than he's doing right now. But let's hop into one more match here against an old opponent who we actually faced in one of our original videos, THD Dudo, and this time we're actually taking him on an Onslaught compared to Stadium. But since I get crushed in this matchup, I just want to mention one more thing about dragons, and that's where all of the value in their kit goes. And I think that that's important to realize when you're picking a hero like Hacksaw over the dragons. I think what I like most about Hacksaw, other than his reliable skills, is that all of his value is going towards your side of the board, and that's something I really want from a hero compared to the dragons, where each of them have an ability that affect your opponent. For example, Barisad's Death Tax makes the troops on your opponent's side stronger, and while that's nice and provides overall more value than Hacksaw, I just prefer my hero to be able to do most of the things on my side. Hacksaw shooting his Razor is also just such a good situational skill to have, and makes those early rounds really easy. So what do you guys think? How have you enjoyed Onslaught so far, and what are your expectations for the new event, and what do you think the new hero is going to be? I hope Ironhide eventually provides a consistent schedule of what we're going to see for balance updates, as well as new things added to the game. Because I just don't want there to be too much added and then they can't balance it right, and so then it's just this infinite cycle of never having a balanced game. But outside of nerfing bots, I've appreciated that Ironhide has been very patient with balancing the game, and I think that overall, it's been a lot more successful than what people make it out to be, especially retaining over 100k players in the first 10 days. I've been playing a lot of people in these Onslaught matches though, and it's been a lot of fun, and I found some really good people that aren't using dragons as well, so those matches have been really fun to go up against. I'll try to record those next time because the matches were very heated, and some of them came down to the wire in those boss rounds. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.